Since you were a child, someone has been placing the same picture in your mind. Ancient humans, wrapped in animal skins, holding stone tools, sitting beside a small fire, inside a dark cave. Outside, rain falls, predators wait, and the cave looks like the only thing keeping them alive. That picture feels so natural. We even gave them a name, cavemen. But what if that word is one of the most misleading ideas in human history? What if our ancestors did not see caves as home the way we imagine? And what if the cave itself became a trap? Not a trap for them, but a trap for us. The dangerous part is, the cave picture is not completely fake. Ancient humans did use caves, they made fires there, they left tools there, they painted on cave walls. Sometimes. They probably slept there. And yes, a cave could protect a group from rain, wind, cold, and danger outside. So the mistake is not thinking caves mattered. They did matter. The mistake is thinking caves were the whole story. Because a cave is exactly the kind of place that makes the past look simple. Stone walls remain, ash can remain, bones can remain, paintings can survive in darkness. But the world outside the cave is easier to erase, and that is where the story becomes strange. When the open world survives, the picture changes, because archaeologists have found clues that ancient humans were not only hiding inside caves, they were shaping places to live. Outside them, at Terra Amata in France, researchers found traces of ancient shelters, hundreds of thousands of years old. Not a deep cave, not a stone room, but signs of people arranging open space, with posts, living areas, and fire. Then much later, at Ohalo II near the Sea of Galilee, archaeologists found something even more human. Brush huts, bedding on the floor, hearths. A place where people slept, worked, ate, and gathered, out in the open. This was not random wandering. This was organized survival. And suddenly, the word cavemen starts to feel too small. Caves could help, but they were not magic homes. A cave could block rain, it could block wind, it could give shade, it could make one side of the world feel closed off and safe. But ancient humans could not ask only one question. They could not ask, is there a cave? They had to ask, is this cave worth the risk? Some caves were too cold, some were too wet. Some were too dark, some were far from water, far from food, far from the path of animals, and some caves were already taken by bears, hyenas, big cats, or other dangers waiting in the dark. A cave that looks safe to us could have smelled like danger to them. So a cave was not a lifestyle, it was a tool, useful when it helped, dangerous when it trapped you. So if ancient humans were not simply cave people, what were they? They were landscape people. They survived by reading the world around them. A riverbank could become a camp, a forest edge could become shelter. A rock overhang could block wind, a hill could give a better view, open ground could make danger easier to see. Animal tracks could warn them where not to sleep. Before they built anything, they had to choose the right place. Where is the water? Where is the wood? Where will rain collect? Where does the wind come from? Where can children stay safe? Where can the group escape? If something comes in the night, to us, home means walls. To them, home began as a decision made with eyes, ears, skin, memory, and fear. Caves were part of the map, but they were not the whole map. Once the right place was chosen, home could begin. Not as a house, not as something permanent, not as walls meant to last for years, but as a system. A few branches could become a frame. Grass and leaves could soften the ground, animal skins could block the wind, a rock wall could become one side of a shelter, and fire could turn the center of the camp into the place everyone understood. The place to gather, the place to warm the body, the place where children stayed close, the place where darkness stopped feeling endless. This was not primitive, it was practical. A shelter did not need to look like a modern house to do the job of a house. It only had to answer one question. What do we need to survive here tonight? But even this is not the biggest twist. The real trap is what time allows us to see. Wood rots, grass disappears. Animal skins decay, footprints vanish, open camps get washed by rain. Covered by soil, broken by wind, erased by thousands of years. But a cave is different. Stone stays, darkness protects, walls remember, ash can remain, bones can stay hidden, paintings can survive, where sunlight and weather cannot reach. So when we look back, we see the cave clearly, but we do not see everything outside it. And slowly, the cave becomes louder than the landscape. The evidence that survived starts to look like the whole life. Maybe caves were not where life happened most. Maybe caves were where life left the clearest mark. Maybe we call them cavemen. Not because humans belonged only to caves, but because caves kept the story after everything softer had disappeared. So if the cave was not always home, then what was? The answer is not only branches, not only fire, not only a dry place under stone. The real home was the group, because one human body alone was weak. A child could not survive by itself. A sleeping person could not watch the dark. An injured hunter could not move fast. An old person might not be strong, but they could remember where water had been found before. So ancient humans did not only look for shelter, they built circles around the fire, around the children, around the sick, around each other. Someone listened while others slept. Someone kept the fire alive. Someone knew when a place was no longer safe. The cave image makes home look like stone, but for ancient humans, home was the people who made any place safe. So the picture in your head needs to change. Not completely, but enough. Yes, ancient humans used caves. Sometimes they slept there, sometimes they made fires there, sometimes they painted on the walls. Sometimes a cave really did protect them from rain, cold, and danger outside. But caves were not their whole world. Their world was larger. Rivers, forests, open camps, rock shelters. Animal trails, seasonal paths, firelight under the sky, places chosen carefully, used for a while, then left behind. They were not simply cave people. They were people of movement. People of memory, people who knew how to turn the land into shelter, and maybe that is why the word cavemen is so misleading. It makes us imagine ancient humans trapped inside stone, when the truth may be the opposite. They were not trapped in caves. We were trapped by the caves that survived. So maybe ancient humans did not live in caves the way we imagine. Maybe caves are simply the places where their story refused to disappear.